In my certification program, almost 20 years ago, I learned to teach different levels of Pilates in one class. So I can teach beginners, intermediate, and advanced people. Every level gets other cues. Beginners concentrate on the low abdominals and length in their spine. Intermediate concentrate on low abdominals, length in the spine, to hold the midline, and they can place their shoulders on the back. Advanced people concentrate on all the above and get more flow in their teaching and in their movement. They get even more details. For the 100, the beginners have not so long levers. The intermediate can stretch the legs out and their spine. Half roll down for everybody. With the low abdominals, they tilt the pelvis into a posterior tilt. The spine follows the movement of the pelvis. The beginner person stays in the half roll down exercise, while the intermediate person closes her legs and has them as long as she can keep the heels down. She can lie all the way down and come all the way up and stretch over her legs. Both concentrate on their low abdominals, the lift in the low spine. The intermediate person holds the midline with her legs and her arms. For one leg circle, the beginner person has her lower leg bent, rolling like a ball. The beginner person starts balancing. The intermediate person rolls back and comes up. The advanced person can hold onto her ankles. The others hold onto the back of the thighs or front of the shins. Single leg stretch for the beginner, reaching the leg up. The intermediate and advanced reaching the leg forward in opposition to their spines. Double leg stretch, reaching up to the sky or arms behind the back and legs as low as they can keep the low abdominal connection. For the scissors, the advanced can make a bigger range of movement. She can hold on to her calves or ankles. The others hold on to the back of the legs, hamstrings. In lower lift, the beginner person can lower one leg after the other. The others start with the beginner, and then they can go on moving both legs as one. The lower the legs go, the deeper the abdominals have to be. For crisscross, we all start with the feet on the floor and twisting the spine and stabilizing the pelvis. We all move into tabletop legs, and intermediate and advanced twist the spine and counter twist the pelvis. Legs go as low as they can keep the low abdominals. Spine stretch. According to their body positions, they can bend the knees slightly, but all keep the heels on the floor. And spine stretch forward goes over the legs. Corkscrew. They circle the legs with a stable pelvis. The advanced person can lift her pelvis up at the end of the circle. She lifts pelvis and legs straight up to the ceiling. The intermediate person can have bigger circles. For the saw, they twist and dive forward. Beginner concentrates on the low abs and the length in the spine. Intermediate can counter twist the pelvis, and the advanced can go further forward and stretch the arms in opposition. Open leg rocker. Intermediate and advanced with relatively long legs. Beginner with bent knees. Advanced can roll onto her head. For the swan, we all start with our hands underneath the forehead. Intermediate and advanced have closed legs. Beginner has legs as closed as she can keep the low abs engaged. They lift their face and head up, and they transition into single leg kick. All round and straighten the spine after the extension exercises. They come into a push-up position and come down again. Intermediate and advanced concentrate on their hips. Side kicks. Intermediate and advanced can prop up the head against the forearm. Beginner has her head on the long arm. The advanced could have both her hands behind the head. Otherwise, everybody has the hand in front of the rib cage. The leg on the floor presses down, and the leg lifts up, the top leg lifts up as high as the hip joint is. When going back, intermediate and advanced counteract with the pelvis. When going front, they stick the sit bones out. Teaser, we all start with a one-legged teaser. Intermediate and advanced can roll down completely. Beginner rolls down as far as she can keep her low abs, and she doesn't have to use her arms. Intermediate and advanced can have both legs up. They can start from lying down. They keep the legs stable and roll their bodies up and down. They lower and lift the legs for teaser 2. For swimming, intermediate and advanced keep the legs fairly together. We all start with our head down, and then they have long arms, long legs, and first we swim with precision, and then intermediate and advanced go into the flow. Leg pull down, and leg pull up. Beginner keeps the knees bent and rolls her pelvis and spine up. Intermediate and advanced can have long legs, and advanced can pull one knee in and stabilize the other leg and hip. Seal for all 3 levels. All should keep the knees into the midline. When they clap their heels, They do it out of the hip joints. For the push-ups, all roll down, walk out their arms into a push-up position, and do 3 push-ups or hold the plank. You could do this also on all fours and stretch out one leg and the opposite arm. Intermediate and advanced can put the pelvis more into it and roll the pelvis forward while they walk their arms forward. All roll sequentially through their spines. All try to keep the low abs engaged and lift their low back bones.